Hey, what's up, bros? It's your boy Adam, and I'm back with another recap of Episode 5 of the Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy. But before that, please hook me up with 2,000 subs, alright? If you missed the last episode, make sure you hit the link in the description and catch up. Now, let's get into it. We get a flashback of Leonis when he was a hero. A city in the kingdom was under attack by ogres, and everyone was freaking out. The heroes Tyrese, Arakel, and Leonis had to take them out. Arakel was about to use a big spell, but he had a twisted plan. He wanted to kill the ogres and the people, and then have Tyrese bring the people back to life. But Leonis didn't like that idea. He didn't want the people to suffer, so he cut Arakel's spell in half with his sword. Arakel was pissed, but Leonis, who was only 12 years old, didn't care. He jumped down and started fighting the ogres by himself. He sliced one ogre and wrestled another one. The people were amazed by him. They saw him as a true hero and loved him. But the other two heroes hated him, especially Arakel. Back to the present, we see Arakel's monster form sneaking into the underground in the Assault City. Meanwhile, in the HQ of the Assault City, they get a report that the huge tree is gone. They think it might be a void, and they want to find it and stop it. They call Elphine and let her tell them what she found out. She says she saw something underground in District 62. She also says there was a magic energy spike at the same time. Then she says it happened again, a few minutes later. She checked all the data and figured out it was a void. Everyone freaks out. They can't believe a void got into the underground. The data team looks at the new info and the old info and says it's true. The old man is confused and asks why their void detector didn't go off. The analyst says the void had weak magic waves, so the detector didn't catch it. It thought it was just a normal accident, but the general still doesn't get how the void got into the Assault City. The girl says there are some parts of the city that could let it in. Then an alarm goes off, and the analyst says something is moving in District 31. The old man is confused again, and asks why it's not using magic. Elphine quickly says the void is hiding its power so they won't find it. The old man says that's impossible, because voids are dumb. But Elphine asks him if they have any clues about what happened to the last investigation team. Another alarm goes off, this time from the stock department. They say they found some tree roots there. Meanwhile, in Elphine's room, Regina is worried because she can't reach Celia. Elphine asks if she knows where Celia is, and Regina says she must be at the orphanage with Leonis. Elphine tracks them with GPS. But Regina asks her if there are really voids in the city. Elphine says yes and tells Regina and Sakuya to be careful. At the orphanage, the kids are having lunch when one of them asks Leonis to show him his holy sword. Leonis is annoyed because the kid just spit on his face. But there's a girl named Chisela who stops the kid and gives Leonis her handkerchief. Leonis thinks she's nice and polite, but she has a crush on him. She calls him cool for having a holy sword and then runs back to her tomato land. At the HQ, they find some clues about what's going on. They see some footprints and a hallway full of tree roots. The guys there wait for orders to destroy the roots. But then the roots start to swell and grow eyes. They attack the guys and cut off the communication. The general now thinks it's a void, but he doesn't know how it got into the underground. The old man asks why their air defenses are so good, but their underground ones suck. Harry Potter starts to freak out and wants to evacuate the city, but they can't reach the city commander. Things get worse when the analyst says the roots messed up the communication system in the city. Harry Potter uses his iPad to hack the system and get some communication back. Two guys survive the last attack, but they let the void get away. They also can't track the void right now. The general freaks out because voids usually attack non-stop, but this one ran away. The analysts figure out the void went through the energy corridor, but they don't know why. Elphine realizes it's going for the magic energy core that powers the city. She says, if it's a Void Lord, it will use the core to make a huge stampede. Everyone freaks out and tells them to protect the core and turn on all the defenses. But then, the tree roots break through the walls and try to get to the core. The defense system shoots at the roots and the troops show up. But the defense system is losing. They change their plan to not only defend the core, but also get the people out of there and get ready for a stampede. At the orphanage, this annoying kid still wants to see Leonis' holy sword. Phrynia tells the kids to stop because a holy sword is not a toy. But Celia asks him to show it because she's his familiar. He agrees to play with the kids, but in his own way. He summons a mini skeleton and makes it dance like a puppet, but the kids think it's gross. The soldiers are still fighting the roots, but they stop when they get to the core. It forces its way in and starts making voids. The city alarm goes off and Celia and Leonis run outside. They see a stampede hitting their city. The city's defense system turns on using backup energy, but it will take 3 days for them to get any help. The generals wonder if they will make it, but one of them says the students are ready. Elphine, Sakuya, and Regina are getting people out of the city, but Regina is still freaking out about Celia. Elphine tells her to relax, Celia will be there soon. She says they have to deal with the voids first. The sky is full of them, but the city guns are blasting them away. The girls get to a roof and start whipping out their holy swords and kicking ass. Meanwhile, Leonis is watching from far away and thinks the void dudes are pretty tough. Celia starts to freak out and goes back inside, saying they have to get the kids out. Leonis tries to follow her, but Sherry stops him and asks what he wants to do. He wonders how she got there so fast. She lies and says she wasn't spying on Celia. He doesn't care and tells her to watch his pets. Sherry says she wants to watch him, but he tells her to scram. Celia yells for Leonis, saying the kids are ready to go. But Leonis sees something and tells her it's not safe outside. There's a big void dragon. Celia goes out to fight it. She pulls out her holy sword, but Leonis can tell she's not using her full power as a vampire queen. He asks if she's scared. She says yes, but she can't chicken out and let the kids die. He smiles and summons his staff. He decides he won't let his best pet die. 2 voids attack, but Celia kills them. She sees 2 more on fire and realizes Leonis did it. She asks if that's his power, but he just focuses on the next targets. More and more voids show up in the city. Sakuya sees some ogres and jumps in with her sword. She makes them into barbecue meat. Regina uses her big cannon to shoot down dragons. Elphine uses her stuff to scout the area. Then they feel the ground shake and see a huge void hydra. The city guns can't handle all the voids and they get destroyed. Leonis looks at the voids and recognizes them from 1,000 years ago. Even the great dragons became corrupted and became voids. He knows he can't use weak spells. He tells Celia to cover him while he casts a strong spell. She runs ahead and fights the voids. He starts casting, but he doesn't know why. He's the great demon lord. He shouldn't care about humans, but he can't stand someone messing with him and his family. A huge dragon comes at him and he casts a level 10 spell. Fireballs rain from the sky and hit the ground. Celia is scared of the fireballs, but Leonis tells her to stay still. He pins the dragon down, but it breathes fire at Celia. She dodges it, and Leonis curses his weak body. Then Blackus pops out of the shadow and bites the dragon's neck. Leonis uses this chance to cast another level 10 spell. Gravity crushes the dragon to the floor. Celia can't believe Leonis beat such a big void. But then the ground starts to fall apart. The 3 roots show up again and grab Celia. They pull her into the hole. Leonis tries to help her, but some roots block him. The roots take some shape and say his name. Leonis smiles and knows the roots are Arakel, one of the old heroes. And that's a recap for episode 5, y'all. Yo, so the Dark Lord who was trying to wipe out humans flipped the script and teamed up with them to take on the voids. Not sure if he's just an ugly duckling or if he's got a thing for hanging with Celia, who's straight up kawaii and has a spirit as big as her. Well, you get it. I'm hyped to peep the full strength of this gnarly dark king and Celia, who's now the vampire queen. What's the word, bros? Let's chill and see how this freaky Dark King's saga wraps up. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and catch you on the flip side. Love ya, bros.